Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over the last Foggy teams that I have ran. I didn't win the tournament, I got second. Vic beat me. Vic is truly an outstanding player. I'm always amazed by the teams he makes, by the relics he chooses, and it's a really fascinating opponent to go up against. So congrats to Vic for winning, and here's the teams that I ran against him and against everyone other pretty much. So in the first team we have the three Dooms with Doris, Arthur and Ophelia. This team isn't made for winning, it's made for lowering the enemies, basically weakening the first enemy's three-man team. The goal of this team is basically to have Doris reflect with the three Dooms relic, reflect enemy damage and hopefully kill one, two or even three opponents' heroes, which often does actually happen. This team does often win, but it's not a guaranteed win, so it's a team that is in general made to weaken the enemy team, but does quite often actually also win. The relic that I run is the relic that increases the stun duration by 2 rounds, because I do run the Whirling Blade, which stuns enemies for 2 rounds. So the issue with this setup is that Leviathan doesn't actually pair well with this relic, because you would ideally want to run a 9-star relic that instantly casts, that is also a Doom, which will instantly provide the stun from the Whirling Blades. Leviathan, because it's 9 stars, it actually provides silence, which is basically instantaneous for 3 rounds, which is actually really insane. So Leviathan is one of the better relics, but only truly shines at 9 stars and can be used as a cheese relic for silencing opponents. And that's really it about this team. As I said, its whole purpose is to weaken the enemy team and occasionally win the battles. The second team is made for winning. Now, you have seen this version of teams everywhere, probably every Foggy has them. The famous Hades, Wu Zetian, and then third hero is usually Pandora or Elmer, or even Vittoria. Vittoria is here because with her legendary runes she will bind 2 enemies at the start of the round. That instantly means one enemy hero will have to fight out the battle, but bind can also hit the same target, so it could be actually one binded hero, so it would be 2 enemy teams. Then we have Wu Zetian, which serves as a steal and a tank because she does have a Sanctuary in her kit, so she can be frontline hero, which she often procs her negate damage. And then we have Hades, who will eat one hero. Now, I don't think this team is perfect, but I've been running it since a lot of seasons ago and it's been consistent. Basically, Wu Zetian steals one, Hades eats the other, and then you have only 2 heroes to fight. This also works against 4-man teams and is really amazing. The relic setup is not ideal because I run the healing waves to instantly proc the telescope, which will make my Hades use his ultimate in round 1, and then I'm using the cauldron to make my heroes survive. The artifact is pretty much the stun in the first round, so I can guarantee the action of my heroes. But yeah, that's about it. This artifact is pretty counterintuitive with the cauldron, but yeah, I didn't really think about that at the time. So in general, this 3-man team wins quite a lot. There was a time I ran Elmer, Lilith and Karnak pretty much. I called it the immortal team because Lilith can die, Elmer can die, and Karnak was serving as a bind filler and as a hero that filled the synergy with the ethereals. So overall, this team is pretty good in my opinion, but can be really improved because, as I mentioned, Vic did beat me, and he beat both of these teams with a single team, and that team was Bastet, the new one, Tiamat, and Gaia. So his 4 Mystifors beat both of these teams. He changed that team into the battle against me. He never ran it before, so I wasn't expecting it. And I'm pretty amazed that it beat this team, so again, congrats to Wix for winning, really good player. Now, the fourth team is actually made for both sustain and burst and scaling. We have Audrey, who is here to provide our third Monarch and second Deviant, also the third Glorian for the CC immunity. We have Shang, who is here for scaling for the Phantom Illusion and for the ultimate casts, which Jormungandr buffs both Shang and Pandora because they do spam their ultimates, so Jormungandr's skill increase coefficient is absolutely valuable in this team. We have Yorm for the survival, for the scaling, for the third Glorian, and for the second Deviant, and then Pandora as the main DPS. We do have the relic that instantly casts and stuns opponents and deals pretty nice damage in PvP. I really like Underworld Key, it's one of my favorite relics. And then we have Kusanagi, which is obviously the best friend for Pandora in most cases. And then we have the Night Sage for the leech rate, so I can heal up even if my heroes do survive on the low HP. And for the artifact, we do run the Glorian attack increase for the 3 Glorians. Fairly simple team, really. It's nothing impressive, nothing not thought of, so I'm pretty sure most people think this team is alright and would run them in their teams. So overall, solid team, a team that can win alone, but it can also lose to Phantom Illusion or Leviathan because of the way how they work. The fourth team is my 5 Avengers team. I get the 2 Avengers from Victoria, and this team did one of the better teams in the whole Foggy of mine. I did not expect it. This was limit testing this team pretty much. So we have 3 Monarchs from Isis, Aphrodite and Victoria, we have 5 Avengers, and then we have Narissa as a DPS. Victoria, the purpose of her is because she's 10 stars, she will basically trigger invincibility, which will guarantee the revives of my Avengers, because if you play Avengers without Althea, the likelihood of them dying is very high without reviving at all. So we have Isis for revival, we have Victoria, we do have scaling, and we do have Phantom Illusion and the sustain. Overall, one of the better teams for 4-man, but I do understand some people prefer to play Aphrodite or Narissa or even Victoria and Isis on their 5-man teams because these 4 heroes are simply too strong. For the relics, I do run the chest into the planar gate for the damage increase and into the Hand of Tyr for the sustain pretty much. Artifact is the position 1 HP increase, so my Isis can scale infinitely pretty much. The team 5 that I run is 5 Avengers, 4 Arcanists, 4 Phantoms, and this team actually won 3 battles against Vic. It's one of my better creations of this season. I pretty much invented this tech. So the tech is to run the Python's Mirror in this team because this team doesn't really need any other Chrono Relic unless you're running Narissa with them and you want the Gleipnir to reset her ultimates. But apart from that, Python Mirror is one of the better Chrono Relics for Avengers. So I run the Spear so I can increase the attack of all allies, so then Magatama does also extra damage, and then we have Python Mirror which pairs nicely with Magatama, so I revive units, they die, they proc Magatama. That's basically the entire logic behind it. Unfortunately, this team can't round up to 5 Arcanists, 5 Phantoms unless I take out Mavis, which is also a possible play. You could play somebody else, but I don't think you can ever have 5 Phantoms and 5 Avengers on the team at the same time, because there is no other hero that's left. Actually, you can play Persephone. And this would be also really fine. So yeah, you can also play Persephone instead and move your Mavis to Avenger Monarchs pretty much. She would do the similar job in there, or you could move her to Arcanist version with Odin or something. Mavis occasionally does the job irrelevant in which team she is. So yeah, you can also run this version of the team. It's assuming your Persephone has at least 2 epic 2 legendary runes or fully legendary. Her stun is really nice in her runes, but she's mostly feeling the synergy in this spot. You do lose out on 1 Arcanist, but the difference between 3 and 4 is not that big. As big of a difference is between 5 and 4 and 3. In the 6th team, I do run the 5 Arcanists, Odin and Arcane Arabella. The Lancelot is here as a Phantom Illusionist. He's in slot 1 because of the... Well, I'm not running Shadows anymore. I did switch to Banish Tree for the funds because I found Shadows boring. And if you were to run Shadows in this position, the position 4, you would pretty much run Lancelot in position 1, so he takes the most damage, and then when the energy bar fills to 100, he will counterattack with his ultimate, which has a higher chance of stealing enemy hero. Otherwise, I would move Behemoth to position 1 and leave it as it is right now, maybe even swap these two. So the logic between these is Behemoth increases the speed of all allies, Astrid increases the attack of all allies based on their speed, Odin removes the Holy Shield, so we can pretty much nuke them with the Arcane Dorabella. We do have 3 Monarchs for the sustain, and then as I mentioned, 5 Arcanists for the revive to be annoying. I do have Banner into Excalibur. I do like to have a higher crit damage when Arcane Dorabella is in this team, and I do not think Gleipnir belongs here, but I did it anyway, so my heroes can use their ultimate round 1. But yeah, it's not really needed. Excalibur is pretty nice because it was a stun Foggy, I think, so banner for the sustain. As for the artifact, I do run the helm, so my heroes can survive even longer and be as annoying as possible. You have some insane scaling from the Odin, you have some decent scaling from the Arcane Dorabella, and then Behemoth, because she's with Arcanist, she will keep on dying and reviving, so she will keep on stunning them and reviving, which is pretty annoying to deal with, and this really strong synergy between her and Arcanist kind of makes me wish she was an Avenger, but or Phantom, but yeah, unfortunate. And as for the last team, I did run the Norwegian Ayushta with the 3 Monarchs version. I think I made a mistake of this team. I think I should have swapped the Norwegian Ayushta with Dahlia so she can scale up her old force. She wasn't 10 stars at the time, I don't think, so her old force wasn't as strong as it is right now, because right now she's at 10 stars, which upgrades her old force even further. And then Cleopatra to fill in the synergies, 2 Celestials, 3 Monarchs, 6 Dooms, and then Halissa to increase the HP of my Monarchs. Leviathan, obviously, just one of the better heroes in the game. I do run the Lance Relic because it really pairs nicely with the Norwegian Ayushta. It adds more chance for Norwegian Ayushta to trigger her double action on all allies. So these two, I think the Lance with Ayushta is one of the better pairings when it comes to Relic plus Hero. Then we have the Hammer for the stun, and then we have the skills for the heal, because anytime enemy hero is charmed, which Ayushta does quite often even, or rather confused, it will increase the max HP of our allies for two rounds for 150%. And that's about it really. The relic, the artifact that I run is the Doom's attack increase. And that's about it really. As I said, I do run the Banish tree for fun. I might swap to the Shadows in the finals or when I'm against weak, so I have better chances of winning, but Banish is pretty RNG, it could guarantee a win as well. The issue is Banish really lacks when it comes to these 3/4 man teams, because you lack the energy position to increase it, and the Banish is basically behind few rounds. Banish pretty bad in this Foggy format, but overall it's pretty okay in the normal Foggy format. And that's about it. So these were the teams that I ran last time. I will very likely adjust them this time, so I might make a video on that in like few days, but I'm not gonna promise anything. So hopefully I have explained the synergies and everything between the heroes, and see you in the next one.